My lighting is all over the place. What a day. What a day I've had. You know what? I had a shower today. I haven't even brushed my hair yet. I've been trying to get stuff done. Nothing's going the way I want it to. But the worst of my fibro flare is over. Where are you coming from? Top it, top it. Goodness. All right, let me pop out the chat here and give everybody a chance to get in while I put my hair up, back up. Well, actually, it's still damp. Hey, Mary Fair. Give me a second. Give me a second here. There we go. How is everybody doing? Tony G, hey. I know it looks good down, or everyone tells me it looks good down, but it's in my way when it's down. All right. Hi, KB Kid or Lacey Black. I'll give everybody a chance to come in, and then I'll say hi to everybody. Let me just make sure my lens is clean, because I've been in the dirt today. I'll tell you, I made dinner tonight, and Howie ended up having grilled cheese. It's a long story. It's also a video for Saturday. Hey, Katrina babe. How's everybody doing? All right, let me say hi. Let me say hi. Pop out the participants. Hey, aloha, Seashell. Katrina babe, Celeste Auto Care. Edie Murray, how are things going, darling? EJ, Fokker Consulting. Hi, Paula. KB Kenner. Hi, Karen. Lacey Black. Linda Bop. Hang on. Oh, crap. Where did my chat go? I hate this new thing on the computer here. Hang on a second. Where was I? Lacey Black, Linda Bop, Mary Fair. It won't let me go down any farther. There it will. Tony G, Robin's Nest, Misty Flesher, and Linda Bop. How's everybody doing? All right. Now I want to go back over here and then go back to the chat, pop out the chat. Bring it on over. Bring it on home to me. On to live chat. How's everybody doing tonight? I've had a crazy day. I tried an experiment today. And, this is how we learn things, right? Hey, Lori, how are you? Yeah, there is cold weather coming. For dinner, I made turkey shepherd's pie with turkey I had in the freezer. Oh, there you go. You know what? I could probably do that. I've got canned turkey in the pantry. Now, listen. I have been trying to explain these lights to everybody. And everybody's saying, oh, well, maybe it's different. We're in Canada. No, guys. I put these lights... Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Put these lights on a timer, right? And when you put these lights, these lights have an individual timer. And when you plug them into a power bar and put the power bar on a timer, and the power bar shuts off, okay? When I turn the power bar back on, nothing. You know why? Because they have their own individual timers. So that's just the way it's worked. That's just the way it works. My little folks dancing up there, keeping the plants company. So that's the way that works. People think, like, I've tried to explain it over and over and over again, and people go, but just put it on a timer. And it's like, guys... When the power bar shuts off and comes back on because of the timer, all of these things will have to be reset anyway. So, hey, okay. Yoshi is Stephanie, right? You feeling the winter blues, honey? Yeah, they are cool. But I've already, I started my garden. I started my seeds. It's Groundhog Day. And I'll tell you what. Oh, I better plug my phone in because it's going to die. I'll tell you what. Hey, from Vermont, Lori. I literally just ordered some of those because you said they were good. Well, the thing is you just have to make sure, like the way I'm going to do it right now is the ones I have on my table go red, blue, and pink. These ones go yellow, pink, and then spectrum. So I've got 4 of these and 2 of the other kind. Can you just leave the power on without the power bar being on a timer? Yes. I'm going to put them on once I have it all set up because it's just the seeds right now. So it's one end of the table. But I will plug them all into power bars. Into a power bar. Probably 2 power bars, one at each end of the table. Why? Because there's 6 of them, right? And I'll just leave them on. And when I get up, when I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go pee, I'll go boop, 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 and I'll turn them all on. And then when I get up at 9 or 10, after I get Howie off to work and all that, and I get up at 9 or 10, then I will put them on a 12-hour timer. And then if I'm still awake, I will, I'll work with it. This is a new setup for me. I just didn't want the old rickety light cage. That light cage, gave me fits. It really did. And that light cage is meant to hold up a grow tent. And the grow tent itself and the frame is what work together to make it really solid. But if you just have the frame, it's like, If they have individual timers, then they should not require a second time on the power bar because the light reset, and when the power is back on, they default. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't friggin' work that way. The timers work to shut them off. That's all. They don't work to turn them back on. Because I put this on a 4-hour timer and let it go out, and it didn't come back on 4 hours later. So you feel me? Now available in Canada. Absolutely. So that's what's going on. And I made a huge mess today. You'll see it all on video. That one will probably be Saturday. The plants you'll see tomorrow. I have started them. I was going to put more outside, and then I changed my mind. So I started my tomatoes, my peppers, my cabbage, my leeks, my celery. Frig me, this little tiny packet of celery. It says, 2,000 seeds. So I start sprinkling, and it just keeps coming. So I folded it back up and brought it back in here. And I have to staple it shut. Wherever it went. Teeny tiny envelope, if I can find it. Here it is. Look. This is itty bitty tiny. You know what? There's probably 500 seeds in there. I better put a paper clip or something on that. Almost had a panic attack because I couldn't find. There's a bobby pin will do. I couldn't find any celery seed, and it was because they were these teeny tiny packages. No, I didn't drop dinner on the floor. Almost. Just you'll find out later. You'll find out later. Hell, I haven't even had supper yet. Okay. I haven't eaten since 6 o'clock this morning. Angela! I had a blast with that $1.50. I had it right up to $15. No, folks, don't ask. I'm not going to explain myself, but Angie knows what I'm talking about. Hey, Roxanne, how are you? Now, I've had some people still emailing me saying, I didn't get my list. There's reasons if you didn't get your list. You either sent it after the 14th of January, you sent it to the wrong email address, or it went into your spam folder, or you didn't recognize the name on the email, which was probably USA SOD or CAD SOD or something like that, right? And you deleted it. So, folks, this is a trial run for Christmas, okay? It's a trial run for Christmas. Next time I do the seed exchange. Hey, Minnesota farmer's wife. Not going to come on 4 hours later, going to come on at the time you first turned it on. No, doesn't work that way. It never came back on. I think that's why they were inexpensive. It's because they were only like $27.99 each Canadian, which is like what, $14.99 American or something. But because they were so inexpensive, I'm just going to have to put up with the fact that I'll turn them on at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then when I get up at 10, I'll set a timer for 12 hours. And that'll be it. My card's out tomorrow after I have a small back surgery procedure. Are you having the, are you getting the nerve endings cauterized? I've heard a lot of people have been doing that. Hot child in the city. Hey, City Child Christina. Nerve blocks. Okay. I'm in my second shirt already, and I've had a shower today. I've just been playing in dirt and ashes and all kinds of stuff. It is the second test one in 3 joints than the real thing. Okay. I've heard like it's a nerve block thing. I've heard hi, Simply Jessica. Now listen, guys, it's after 8, so any little children should be in bed. Anyway, I'm going to get my medication rolling. Because I'll tell you, even though my fibro flare I'm still in pain. I'm always in pain. Mail service just resumed, so they will not go out this weekend. What do you mean mail service just started to resume? When do they stop mail? Hell, I heard that Parliament in Canada was going on vacation until March, and that was in January. Thank you, Yoshi. Whose teeth are? Yeah, my teeth are crooked. They are. Well, they're not crooked. I'm loose. Remember when I lost this one? Now this one's loose. And it's painful. And I got a molar back here. My face is caving in. Thank you, Stephanie. Valerie, hello. I'll be going behind the fan. Don't worry. Freezing temps kept everyone at home. Mail service included. Oh, what a bunch of pussies. Really? I mean, this is getting, you know what? You know what this pandemic has done? Is it's made a lot of people lazy. I'm sorry. How you get a parcel, it says it's going to be here at such and such a time. Right? So I drive into Gatineau, I take Briar shopping, I come home. Howie says, I said, where's your parcel never came? And he goes, yeah, bad weather. It won't be here till Monday. I said, I just drove to Gatineau and back. There ain't nothing wrong with the weather. Roads are dry as a bone. Well, Mary, I'm losing them. My face, my smile is now getting lopsided because this part up here is missing all my teeth, and down here is missing these ones. I have back there that's really loose. KB, green beans or broccoli? What goes well with chicken and yams? Green beans. Anything green. Because you think about it, the chicken's a bland color, right? And the sweet potatoes or yams are beautiful, bright colors. So you want something to offset them. Food isn't just about nutrition. It's about making it look palatable so it is palatable. You know what I mean? Corey! Wet, nasty, and cold in New Orleans. I don't doubt it. We got Angie, you were right. I just couldn't hear the wind because I was in my office. It's been windy, cold temperatures coming. Howie's brought in a nice load of wood. But I'll tell you what, If the groundhog came out around my neighborhood today, he didn't see no shadow because it was cloudy all day. Hey, says, awesome. You know, orange, tan, and green. It's a beautiful, beautiful combination. So I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm expecting spring in 6 weeks, not 8, not 10, 6. Because Wyatt and Willie did not show his face up here today. And if he did, he didn't see no shadow. So, give me a second. Oh, my hands are sore. So I got my table all set up. Covered in plastic. Hey, Sherry Leach. Made ham and bean soup. Started last night. Added the soaked northern beans today. Don't get me talking about beans right now. You'll hear all about it on another day. I soaked my beans overnight. And then I simmered them. But they still aren't cooked. I've thrown them in the crock pot. It's cold, eh? Yeah. Hey, well, it's okay. I mean, I'm late. I'm starting late today. Me too, Tony G. I started my leeks, my Spanish onions, my celery, my tomatoes, my peppers, my cabbage. More marigolds. At least I'm trying. More marigolds. Basil. Manitoba tomatoes and peppers. That's what I started today. I'm going to save starting things like watermelon and stuff until right before planting time. Because watermelon is not something you can disturb its roots. So it has to go into like a peat pot where it gets buried completely into the soil without disturbing the roots. What's going on? What did I miss? A woman had an abortion today at 38 weeks. I can't hear that shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why would we? Please don't bring that kind of stuff up here. We want to keep things positive, and I have no idea what would make a woman do that. But I hope, you know, it had to be horrifying circumstances. Right? I hope the beans weren't in the pressure cooker and exploded all. Oh, no. Nothing that bad. I got to start everything still. I have been obsessed with painting. I saw all your rocks. Aces. No, that's not you. I saw somebody painting rocks on Facebook. PETA offered to send a human to replace Punxsutawney Phil. I don't understand what that means. Oh, I start seeds and everything. I got trays, but you know what? I use styrofoam trays because I am going to transplant my celery. I put it in a thing that big, and it's going to be like this little, it's going to look like a chia pet. I swear. It's going to look like a chia pet when it takes off. He's our famous groundhog. I know it's Groundhog Day today, and I said if Wyatt and Willie saw his shadow today, it was because they were shining lights on him, because here it was cloudy all day. Says I'm going to get 6 more weeks. They need to lay off Phil. That animal was treated better than humans. What are we talking about? I've had to go low sodium and I'm down 12 pounds. Good for you, Steph. Good for you. The green beans, chicken, and yams are all heating on the stove. I'm eating chicken I canned. I'm going to make me some macaroni and tomatoes. That's what I'm having. Because I'm starving. Hey, La Grosse Patate! How's it going? Phil is the name of the groundhog. Ours is Wyatt and Willie. I'm almost positive it's Wyatt and Willie. I saw something a couple of months back. And I'm going to do a rumble on it. They're talking about, now this is really creepy, folks. This woman was saying they're doing a test thing in Britain in the UK, and it's called 15-minute cities. And what they are is they're dividing cities up into townships, right? And they're going to make everything so that everything is within 15 minutes of your home, so you don't have to drive anywhere. Now, the problem with that is if you want to go outside your 15-minute city, you have to have a permit. And you can't cut across the center to get to your mother's house, who's in another 15-minute city. You have to go all the way around the outside to her section. It's happening. And you want to know what's really nuts? I thought that was crazy until I saw an article in the Peterborough Examiner where they're talking about, oh, it's going to save the environment. It's going to save everybody. You're going to, everything's going to be convenient. Everything, school, pharmacy, everything's going to be within 15 minutes of your house. Now, you may think that's awesome, but it's not. Think Hunger Games. Think Divergent. Oh, let's go all the way back to Soylent Green. Oh, no. Land is too precious for private ownership. It needs to be saved for agriculture. Hey, Mary Cook. So I'm going to be doing a rumble on that because get this. They didn't accomplish what they wanted with COVID because it wasn't bad enough to frighten, and they didn't frighten enough people. Okay. So they didn't accomplish what they want. But let's go back, okay, to spring 2020. When I tried to go, I got my sister up here for 3 months because she was living in a 22-story apartment building with only 3 elevators. And she was, at that point, I was really scared at that point, right? So my sister came up here for 3 months. But when I tried to go to the store and they told me I had to go in the other direction, right? He said, oh, is it necessary? And we all know the story, right? When I'm going to town and get my sister cigarettes at Giant Tiger because I ain't paying twice the price at the gas station. And they said, is it necessity? Is it a necessary trip? I said, you want to go back to my house to my sister without her cigarettes? He started laughing and he let me go. But it was on the way back that I had a problem. 15 minutes from my own, not even 5 minutes by car from my own house. And I had to wait 15 minutes in line and be told that I could no longer go to Wakefield to shop. I had to go to Gracefield, that they were locking down our area. And I asked him, and he was younger than me, so he wouldn't even remember, he wouldn't even know what I was talking about. I said, what, did I wake up behind the Berlin Wall this morning or something? Right? When is the and you know why they're going to start with Peterborough? Because the crime is shot up. So it's going to keep everybody safe because you don't have to travel and blah, blah, blah. It's creepy as F. Okay? Think of 1984, where everybody had their own specific apartments and the big flat screen TVs on the walls telling you what to do, and you had no privacy. Hey, Stephen, 15-minute cities. Look it up. They use safety to imprison everybody every time. Exactly. So you're not going to hear me mincing my words. I'm just going to say, okay, you ready? It's time to stand. What's going to happen? It's great, dude. They're going to organize the city so nobody wastes gas, nobody drives, everybody can walk everywhere until you try and leave your 15-minute city. Okay? What about us folks out in the country? They're going to try and build the cities up to us and then just absorb us. Well, I live in the hills. You try that. I live on rock, right? You've seen my road, guys, going to Wakefield. There's points there where you have this much space from the guardrail to a 15-foot drop to the Gatineau River, and you have this much space on the other side between you and a rock wall of the mountain. Yeah, you're gonna go blow right through there, eh? Sure. Hey, Lola Granola, how's it going? They're trying to make a 15-minute city. If so, I'm breaking out. Well, look, think about this. They have been leading us up to this with things like Hunger Games and Divergent, and they started things with things like Soylent Green and the Marathon Man. You know, I Am Legend with Will Smith? That was originally the Marathon Man with Charlton Heston. Yeah, I'm that old. We're both rural. It will take trillions of dollars to make it happen. You have a bee in your bonnet, Lola. What's going on? Digital currency so they can just shut it off if you don't comply. Exactly. You will be allowed 100 permits a year to leave the city. If you go beyond that, you will be fined. Watch for my rumble, because I'm going to rumble on this tomorrow. I'm going to rumble on a lot of things. I have 2 rumbles in mind. So I better write these down so I don't get high and forget. 15-minute cities. Okay? And make this make sense to me. Okay? I've been sitting, I keep saying it, and I haven't done a rumble in a long time. Okay? And no, I can't do them live yet. But I haven't done a rumble in a really, really long time. Right? Why? Because I've been watching and listening and paying attention. There's a documentary coming out. Does anybody not know who I'm talking about when I say Rebel News or Rebel TV? What about Montana? Yes, I have used applesauce and placement of eggs. Works well. Everything will be digital as well. That's why they want to outlaw wooden gas stoves too, because they can't shut it off remotely. Yeah, you just try. Just try. What about Montana? Just introduce no coins for bus fares here. I think they're going to use the Last of Us to show everyone scared of fungi. I don't understand. Chinese spy balloon. What are we talking about here? Anyway, so, remember back in the beginning of the pandemic when we were all frightened and we were live streaming every day to keep each other updated? But they went too fast. They went too fast from panic to locking everybody down. Do you remember? Please don't forget. You can't visit your family. You can't have family gatherings on the holidays. Remember that? Okay? Things have sped up. Their agenda has sped up. But there is a Rebel News. I know. Howie works over. Howie, how long does it take you to go from here to work in the morning?
An hour 15.
An hour 15. Yeah, right. Like that's going to work.
Usually an hour and a half to get home.
Yeah. So, oh, you're still packing. When are you moving, Autumn? Is it this Sunday? Great game 10 years ago. What game? They want to outlaw backyard chickens. No, they're starting to bring them back in. Like my cousin Debbie in Toronto, I said to her, she said, well, we can have up to so many. I said, don't ask. Just don't get a rooster. I've seen the length of your backyard. You can put a coop back there. Make sure you use hardware cloth, 1/2-inch hardware cloth, so that weasels can't get in. And you raise those meat birds all summer long. Don't try laying. Well, I'd like laying. No, you're not going to do laying hens because you got to overwinter them. Yeah, that's a long drive. Biden said, shoot it down. What are we talking about?
Chinese weather spy balloon.
A Chinese spy balloon?
said they weren't going to shoot it down.
A Chinese spy balloon was found going over Montana. The U.S. says they don't want to shoot it down because they don't want to cause any harm down below.
Blow it out of the sky.
Can I help you? Oh my gosh, see? I don't care if you're only allowed 6 chickens. We are going to get some chickens this summer or this spring for one simple reason. What happens if the farmer that I'm buying my beef and my pork from, God forbid, has some kind of catastrophic disease failure or something? I'm left without meat and paying grocery store prices. Oh, hi, Dan. How you doing, baby? It's awesome to see you. Hey, critter lover Jesse. I'm so glad. How you feeling, sweetheart? Come on over and meet Smith and Wesson. They're going to take... See, the thing is, we were talking about this the other night, right? They go into the cities where there's the highest concentration of people, and they say, do you want guns banned? Right? And they go, yeah. Right? And us out here, right? They're going with this majority vote crap. This does not work. You got people living out in the country who hunt for meat. And we are going. Do not let me forget to get into the dough tag lottery this year. Right. That's me, right? Hey, Teresa Martin. Penn Smith. I've seen all your lovely rocks you've been painting. It's another scare tactic. I know. But the truth is, folks, here, you ready for the nickel's worth of free advice? I don't give advice. Here's what I think. I think we should just stop listening to all the bullshit. You feel me? Turn off your TVs. Turn off Facebook and Twitter. Turn them off. You'll sleep better at night. And the only thing you'll have to deal with is because what is happening is they've been doing this for 3 years and they haven't realized we're wising up. They just blam social media, blam mainstream media, blam panic. Oh no, war, plague. 3 years ago, I was called a granny killer, an anti-science misogynist racist, because I wouldn't get a shot that they now know doesn't work. As a matter of fact, it makes things worse. Right? There's a reason I only watch things like Supernatural and Housewives of Beverly Hills, because I know it's nonsense. As a matter of fact, in Supernatural, there's a lot of truth hidden in plain sight, believe it or not. But they throw in so much ridiculousness that you don't know how to sort truth from fiction. Well, the same is with media and mainstream media and social media. It is time, folks, for us to use critical thinking. If it's coming from mainstream media, they're lying to you. If they say it's a beautiful sunny day, you go outside and check the friggin' sky, because I guarantee you it's snowing. It is time, folks, for us to stop allowing it's time to stop allowing governments, media, and social media, which are run by the government. Don't tell me they're not. It's time, pharmaceutical companies and huge corporations. It's time to stop letting them lie to us and start thinking for ourselves again. You want to take my guns? You want to take away you want to take away the one thing I can defend my livestock from predators, or that I can hunt meat from my freezer? We're going to have words, bud. Right? You going to tell me I can't raise chickens on my 1 acre? Okay. it's a tenth of a percent of less than an acre. Okay? I'm not talking about revolution. I'm talking, okay, about lovolution. Okay? I'm not talking about getting angry and yes, you're not taking what I need to survive from my home. You're not. Okay? But it doesn't have to be angry. You just say no, thank you. Nuh-uh, not happening. And the day I try to drive to Giant Tiger and they tell me, "Oh no, you're too far away." I'm going to say, "Tell me where that's law." Because all of this stuff that they push down our throats over 3 years, you notice I'm not getting interrupted anymore? Because they feel they've already accomplished their goal, which was to get 75% of the population jabbed. Okay? Give me a second. Why would I delete this video? Even in hi, Sheila Clarkin, my love. Top of the morning to you. Actually, it's about 4 in the afternoon for you, 4:30 in the afternoon for you, isn't it? It's our conditional rights worth standing for, our kids and our grandbabies. The problem is there's already so many brainwashed people that have spent most of their lives being told what to do by media, social media, what's acceptable. Let me put it to you this way. Somebody got offended on Facebook yesterday. I didn't see it. I heard about it because I don't go on Facebook unless I'm just, I go into my private group. Let me ask you something. Facebook is so heavily censored. How can anybody see anything that would offend them? You want to be offended? Go over to Gab. Come on over to Gab. You know why? You're going to hear white supremacist stuff. You're going to hear the aliens are out to get us. You're going to see way out there shit. But we have been conditioned to let somebody else do the scrolling for us. Think about that. We have allowed ourselves to be conditioned by censorship to allow Mark Zuckerberg to tell us what's okay to say and what's okay not to say. And so when people go over to a place like Gab, they go, "Whoa, holy crap, there's a lot of nutcrackers out here." Guess what? The world is full of nutcrackers. You got to learn to scroll and really look at the stuff. And some of the stuff can be pretty way out there, but it's not all wrong either. I'm not talking about the racist and supremacist and all that stuff. There's all kinds. There is, extremist Christians and everything on Gab. But the truth is, it's like, I can't stand Gab. It's so negative. It's so this. It's so crazy. That's because you've been conditioned by Mark Zuckerberg and the FBI to accept what they feed you, to only put out what they want you to put out, to only say what they want you to say. See, censorship and freedom of speech or freedom from censorship has a price. And what's the price? Shock. You're just going to have to learn to scroll past what you don't agree with. That's the price of freedom. George Jefferson, I love Archie Bunker. I loved Archie Bunker. Hey, Ninja Clan Kathy. Joni, my daughter, protects herself too, and she lives in a well-to-do city. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Hey, darling. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not up to reading cards tonight. I'm just saying, folks, please Please, please. That's right. Okay. Did everybody see the Facebook post that they're allowing on there now? Because they figure everybody's so brainwashed, they're not going to recognize the truth. They think we're so brainwashed that we're not going to recognize the truth when we see it. They still want us to think aliens are a threat. It started with in the 50s. And it's Ronald Reagan saying, I sometimes wonder if it's going to take a threat outside of our planet or our solar system to bring us all together. If there was a threat out there, we'd be toast already. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. You want to think what the ones that are watching us, they're afraid of us. Come on. We are in the special class. We're in special ed when it comes to technology compared to the rest of the multiverse. They're watching us. They're starting to pay attention when Hiroshima went off. And they're watching us. And they're going, these people are barbaric. These beings are violent. They can't even agree. They've divided the world up. They're tribal. They're menacing. They're angry. Let's just stay the hell away from Earth. Not because we're a threat to them, but because they're waiting for us to wake up and smell the coffee and be adult enough to have a conversation with the rest of the multiverse that is eons and millennia way ahead of us. Right? They don't want to hurt us. If they wanted to hurt us, they'd have done it already. We're still in the primordial ooze compared to them. Do you know how many times this planet has been destroyed and rebuilt? Just because you don't see the history or they haven't uncovered it yet. Where do you think the giants went? You know what I mean? Any life form that travels through the universe has no problem to defeat every Earth's arm. Exactly. Hey, Grandpa, how's it going? D-double. That's right. Missing 411 UFO connection. I can't get into Facebook. I lost my password. Well, you're better off. Come on over to Gab. Now, we don't have Gab Messenger. There's no Messenger. There is chats, but there's really no Messenger. But I promise you this. You come over to Gab, and I will always post my videos on there. Right? It'll be when I get up in the morning because I haven't got it on my phone yet. But I will always post my videos on Gab. I will always post my opinion on Gab and on Rumble. But if you noticed, other than the occasional video or just testing the water to see if I'm still safe on Facebook, I'm leaving Facebook. And I have been for a while. Yeah, not notice that? But not to post. It's spelt Gab. Yeah. Seashell will do it for you. Seashell will put it up there. Right? But Gab is, now there's a price for the freedom of speech. It means everybody gets to say what they want, whether it's true or offensive or anything else. But that's the price of the freedom of speech. You can't have freedom of speech and censor what you don't like. You have to be your own censor. You have to censor out what you don't like. Make sense? La grosse patate. I love that word or that name. I watched that Resident Alien show and I'm in love with it. I love calling out the hilarious side of everything right now, assuming aliens have scales and stuff. So discriminatory. How many species of living things are on this planet? And you think about that. From insects to apes to humans. How many species and how many species are getting destroyed on a daily basis? They're dropping off. Hundreds of species a day are dropping off our list. What kind of caretakers of the planet are we? And I'm not talking, go out and buy a freaking electric car. Everybody stop using gasoline and oil. Everybody get off, we're killing the planet. I'm telling you. If Canada got wiped off the map, was taken down to the bare dirt, nothing but trees left, our carbon, excuse me, aren't we carbon-based life forms? I mean, I think I use Gab, but we'll need to reset my password. I'm sure it's been a while. That's right. Okay, the only censor I had growing up was my dad. God, thank God we didn't have social media when I was a teenager. I wouldn't be who I am today. Oil is a renewable resource. Okay, let's look at it this way, right? Hemp. Now, I know we can't replace everything with hemp, but you can make just about everything with hemp. And if we replaced all the cotton fields in the U.S. with hemp fields, totally renewable, doesn't need defoliants, fertilizers, fungicides, or anything like that. And you can reuse the same land. You can get more hemp for fabric out of hemp than you can out of cotton. Killing the kids, getting the stuff to get the batteries for the car, and killing the environment. Exactly. 56% of the lithium for the batteries in those cars is mined out of China. And now China's trying to say, oh, we're going to get hybrid mining equipment. Okay, but if you can't keep up the lithium supply now, how are you going to run machinery with lithium, right? Exactly, Donna. Exactly. So the thing is this is the government this is the world governments trying to make us one global community. I'm sorry, but there's pros and cons. And one of the cons is we can't even get our own governments to listen to us. Oh, everybody said, oh, Trudeau said, yes, the people did speak when they voted me back in. You got 32%, arse, right? So I'm trying, I know I'm being kind of negative tonight, but I'm not. I'm just trying to let people know that it is time to take back your critical thinking. It's time to stop listening to all the fear factor, all the crap. Oh, Joe Rogan on Fear Factor. That's when I fell in love with Joe Rogan. Oh, now they're trying to tell us, get this. They're trying to tell us that turning your car on in 40 below weather and letting it warm up is bad for the car. Not the environment, the car. Pretty sure there's a reason we have block heaters. Pretty sure there's a reason why cars need to be warmed up before you take off. Howie's killed more cars by not letting them warm up. UFO connection film. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So I wanted to tell you this. Rebel is putting out a documentary. I forget. I posted it on Facebook, and I think I posted it on, and I can't wait to see it. And the opening is showing Pierre Elliott Trudeau talking about what it means to be a citizen of Canada and what his son is saying. And his son, everything his father stood for, his son has shit on. Pretty much. Oh, yeah, threads and jars. Hi, of course I'm fired up. Yeah, we've all been punked. Time to get over it. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Of course, they've been lying to us for millennia. I'm sorry. Can't get it through. There's a lot of people that, they're not going to agree with me and they're going to argue with me, and it's okay. You don't have to believe me. But you think about this. When the Bible was recorded so that people could actually read it, because remember, it was everything was in Latin and only the priests could read the sacred scrolls and the sacred books, right? And then all the masses and everything were in Latin so that the common people couldn't understand the real religion. They just had to do as they were told. Do you know the Catholic Church was the first Christian church on the face of the earth? It was built by St. Peter. 200 It became a religion 250 years after Christ died. And they've been monkeying with the information since before Christ was born. Christ was born to bring us back to God, not to have a religion built over after him, right? Your daughter says you have a big mouth. Well, I have a big mouth. Do you see what's up, Canada, yesterday? We've been at war because of the bioweapons. I have no idea. I rely. Let's put it this way. I can't even listen to the car radio. When I went to take Briar shopping on Friday, I turned the radio on because that's the only way I can check the clock, and I don't want to pull out my phone. So I turned the radio on, and I hear one station going, "Oh, Live 98.5 or whatever the hell it was called. We're carbon neutral." So what are you, water? We're Ottawa's carbon neutral radio station. Okay, bonk, change the station. Okay, so then there's another radio broadcaster talking about how he's been driving a Ford F-150V, which is, I think, a hybrid vehicle, for 10 days. He's taken it on a trial basis because it's a really big commitment, but I think it's worth it for the planet. La, 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 la. I had to shut the radio off. It's like, are you people all blind? Like, yeah, hybrid vehicles are great, to save on gas, right? But it's not okay, Trudeau, to tax our gas to the point where we can't even afford to drive without an electric vehicle. It's not okay to tell us that we all have to have a $200,000 car by 2030. Do you remember when all the windmills went up around Peterborough, Angie? Everyone's going, "Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And they don't work and blah." And you know why? Because the grid was not meant to take that kind of power. It's a totally different power system. No life except for the elites, carbon neutral. There you go. You have to let go. Feel so sorry for disbelief. And those damn windmills, they're sticking out in the ocean, will finish off the whales once and for all. Now, why would that happen, Monique? Because why would that? To me, that makes the perfect sense, is on the shoreline, right? Because, you don't want them in the middle of a farmer's field. They want to tax per mile you drive your car. Yeah. And, remember back when they said, ooh, now this was 10, 15 years ago, they were talking about little things you could put in your car, that these things were coming about. They're going to put in your car so that if you show good driving habits, it's going to record your driving habits. You'll get reduced insurance. You're not putting that shit in my car. You're not putting that crap in my car. All right? Because it's just recording numbers. It's not recording, oh, I had to dodge because, somebody was sliding sideways in front of me, right? Sonar is bad for sea life. What's sonar got to do with wind energy? Or am I missing something completely? See, I don't pretend to know everything. I just have a good idea about things. Really? They emit sonar underwater. Oh, wow. Did you know that, Howie? That the windmills that they put out in the ocean emit sonar underwater. And it's messing with the whales and shit. I don't know what to say, folks. Who are you going to believe? First it was windmills, and then it was solar power. Okay? And now it's electric cars. And yeah, certain things work. Solar power works. If you can do it. But the truth is, give me a dug well and a wood stove and a pile of firewood and some chickens in a garden, and leave me the hell alone. The rest of the world can go do what it wants, right? And light bulbs are really bad for the brain, depression, etc. Not LED. I don't have any problem with the LED lights. It was compact fluorescent lights that were compact fluorescent lights were disrupting with Breyer. He had a problem with compact fluorescent lights. And I have no problem. I was getting, as soon as I switched over from compact fluorescent to LEDs, I stopped. Well, I didn't stop getting migraines, but I wasn't getting them weekly either. I had no idea, critter lover. So you hate LED lights. Tax your car. Progressive started it. Yeah, exactly. 10 years ago with Snapshot, you plug in your car's computer, reduces your insurance premiums. Yeah, right. My ass. Right? And carbon footprint my butt. Howie, how often does my truck leave this driveway in the winter? Maybe twice a month. And rarely do I go past Wakefield. Maybe I'll go to Gatineau or Ottawa. Twice a month. In the summertime, even in the summertime, because I'm so busy with gardening and stuff, taking time out of my day to go anywhere is a waste of my time because I'm usually working. I feel like our ancestors long ago were like, I'm not going to buy my meat from the store. They would do this and this. And they were right. Yeah, absolutely. You look at Little House on the Prairie. Now, we know that those books were based on Laura Ingalls' life, but a lot of it was fictionalized to make it more suitable for children. But you look at Almanzo Wilder's family. Almanzo Wilder's family lived in Malone, New York at first. And when Almanzo Wilder was a kid, his father grew oats, wheat, barley, and oats and Canada peas for the pigs. They grew carrots and turnips and pumpkins and corn. They raised pigs and beef and dairy cows and chickens. And guess what? They fed all that from their own property. And he raised horses. And horses were his moneymaker. And his mom, sold her butter every year. These people were completely self-sufficient. During the summer, I will put in a wood stove, I hope. The Morgans, the Morgan horses. Yet Charles Ingalls never stayed in one place long enough to make them self-sufficient. Like they lived out in the Dakotas forever. By the time Laura and Almanzo left, it was like a depression area. Because you got to think about it this way. All of these people went out. Now, you know why there was droughts and dust bowls and all of these horrible things where there was no rain? Because they messed with the ecosystem. All of these settlers went in and ripped up all the prairies. And those root systems in the grass is what was keeping the prairies alive. And they just stripped it all for farmland and expected it to grow. Ginkgo, we are being monitored too much. I saw a documentary about that. I bet that the milkman was farm to door, and now it's 15 different places and stuff. Smart cars, smart thermostats, smart meters. I fought the smart meter. I didn't get one on my house because there was just too much. I put out so much information. Like I wrote letters to the local newspaper and stuff to the point where there was so much awareness raised that we were allowed to opt out of the smart meter as long as we paid $19 a month to have our meter read. Now they only read our meter twice a year. And they just assume that my patterns haven't changed. Okay, Joni. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. I think my prior life was in the pioneer days. I'm drawn to that lifestyle. Well, you have to be, because we've done some major mess ups between then and now as people. We went from self-sufficiency and made the dollar and purchasing power more important. That's why we're where we are today. That's why we're this close to having it all taken away from us. Why? Because we let everybody else do the thinking for us. And it started with the greenback. It started with the almighty dollar. Vandana Shivya is winning against Monsanto and all chemical fertilizer and GMO seed companies. And they don't give a crap. You know why? Because they've already done the damage. We can undo the damage. And it's not with electric cars and windmills and solar panels. Okay? It's about being responsible for your square piece of the planet. Don't buy stuff because you think you can recycle the plastic. If you can't reuse it, then reduce it, because recycling's a scam. 75% of what we put in our recycle bins ends up in a landfill. They could collect it from an entire housing complex, and if one person put a dirty can, that whole thing gets dumped. And you know what? You don't see it in our dumps. You know why? Because they sell it to places like India. Why do you think the oceans are full of plastic? Not because it's coming down from our littering, because garbage gets sent out on barges to other countries and other places. It's sent out on barges. It's, on great big huge tankers. They sell our recyclable garbage, and then it ends up in huge mountains of plastic and crap. And when those barges go down, where do you think the garbage goes? I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just telling you to think for yourself. Think, right? Chickens. I saw a video where I heard it's the feed. They've monkeyed with the feed to make it cheaper. They probably put half grain, half chaff or something. But the chickens aren't getting the nutrients they need from the feed. Now remember, they got to have a minimum of 12 hours of simulated or real daylight. They have to have heat. They have to have plenty of water in the wintertime. But supplement their feed. Get them some black oil sunflower seed, like black sunflower seeds. Get them some millet. Throw them some oatmeal. Supplement their feed with vegetable matter. Hell, guys, make a suet cake. Cook up some hamburger and throw it to them if you can find the cheap shit, right? Tractor Supply. Yeah, well, the feed's been monkeyed with. So, oatmeal scraps. I plan on raising meat birds this year, and I don't plan on buying any more than 3 bags of feed. Watch me. I don't care if I have to go through the dumpsters behind the giant tiger to get, limp produce to throw to my chickens. You make your own feed. There you go. What about duck? I don't know much about ducks except that I love them and I won't eat them because I don't like duck meat. It to me, it's dark meat, but it's not just dark meat. It smells and looks like beef, but it's supposed to be a bird. I can't wrap my head around it. My Walmart today, I bought 36 eggs for $10.38. Oh my God. That's ridiculous. On good water filters. I live near a not so clean river. Well, look up Lehman's. They have a certain type of water filter. I'm almost positive. Let me just. There are water filters. Now I've lost my chat. Where'd my chat go? There it is. Hey, Helen Burke, how are you? Cat Chat, Jane Doe Patriot. I used to feed my girls hamburger, oats, and scratch grains, etc. Yeah, they are omnivores. Think of velociraptors. You know how they showed in Jurassic Park velociraptors? You know the actual velociraptors where chickens are come from? They're only about that big, eh? They're no more than 2 feet high, right? But they were vicious. They were vicious. Chickens are velociraptors. They need grain and they need protein. $16 in Utah, where I moved from. My family is still there. Holy crap, I charge $4. And if you bring me your egg carton, I drop $1. Hey, Lynn Smith. I saw somebody on Facebook the other day, and I did it. And I don't care if it never gets anything, but you never know. I put a thing out on Facebook and said, fresh baked bread, I'll trade for eggs. I'll bake bread and trade it for eggs. No problem. That's why chickens love bugs. Hell, buy that cricket chips and give them to your chickens. Listen, guys, I'm going to go. All right. Let's have a little prayer. Okay. If you don't want to stay for this, that's okay. Nobody's going to judge you for leaving. We are just going to join hands at hearts, and we're going to concentrate on our faith. Your faith for you, my faith for me. And somewhere in the middle, we will meet heart to heart, hand to hand in the shining light of God's love. Right? It's that simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. Yeah, I'm getting a headache because I haven't eaten since I haven't eaten in 15 hours. So I've just been living on tea all day. So we have ate the smallest. I had chickens attacking it, buckets when we butchered. Funny and sad at the same time. Well, I'm going to figure something out. I'm going to figure something out. Even if I have to invest $150 into 1/2-inch hardware cloth and how we build a 2x4 pen with a door on it in the greenhouse, I'm going to raise some chickens. And I just might feed them pot trim too. Hey, Joe. All right. Everybody, for all those who care to, please help me close with some spiritual nourishment. You connect to your faith, I'll connect to mine, and we will spread some love and light. You see, guys, it's okay to be upset and even angry. It's okay to be angry about what's happening in the world. What's not okay is reacting with anger. Okay? There's a big difference between being angry and reacting with anger. Do you understand? Right? So you can be upset at the atrocities we're seeing in the world. But if you can't do anything about it, then you hand that to God, because he's the only one. They, them. I can't even do that with God, okay, guys? God is the creator, is the only one that can handle the stuff that we can't. So don't spin your wheels in the mud and get more and more frustrated. If it's beyond your control, hand it over to God and focus on something that is in your control. Critical thinking, frugal living, self-sufficiency in any way you can. Okay? All right, let's take some deep cleansing breaths. You know what? Before we do this, let's pull out the old sage, cleanse the negativity, because, we did talk about some pretty negative things. We're going to cleanse the negativity from the room. Smoke the sacred white sage. Remove negativity. Lift our hopes and our prayers and our dreams. to the Creator when you're small. Hey, Sarah Young. Oh, honey, we're just leaving. Okay. So remember, anything negative, you take what you can handle and that you can control and do something about and give the rest to the Creator. Hey, God, Creator and source of all. Thank you, God, for, just letting me be me tonight and being with my YouTube family as we talk about the difficult things in life. God, I ask that we all, for us all, that you help clear away some of the fog between reality and lies and truth in our lives. Please help us to let go of the things we have no control over, because we're just spinning our wheels in the mud if we can't let those things go. But God, thank you for helping us to keep an open mind and an open heart, and help us to take back our voice, not raised in anger, but raised in love. We'll leave the rest up to you. Please, God, look after our friends that are battling illnesses. Their families are battling illnesses and legal battles and addiction and neglect and fear over finances and the state of the world today. Please let us go of the things we have no control over. And we lift all of those people who cannot see their way through the fog to you, God. And all the troubles we have no control over, we give them to you, God. We will just look after the things that we can, the best that we can, with your help. Thank you, God, for letting us feel the love in spite of all the insanity in the world today. Thank you for having our backs. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Peace be with you. Miigwech. Merry meet. Blessed be. Walk in the shining light of God's love. Whatever language you use to talk to your faith or the source of your faith, don't you listen better when the language is love? Take care. God bless. We'll see you on Sunday.